Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Addington News. Looking forward to Darren Williams. You know what it's like to have big race meetings, and there's none bigger at Alexandra Park on Friday night. The first time ever, the Trillion Trust Auckland Cup and the Reharvest Row Cup have been run on the same program.
Yeah, so like really big meeting coming up at Auckland. We wish them all the very best with that. Hopefully the weather's a wee bit better than it was for them last week. It wasn't much better here too. It was pretty cold, but it's a big time for the Auckland Trolling Club and their two big features. Got reasonable fields for them, so wishing them all the best for Friday night.
Yeah, we've had a great month of racing at Addington Raceway, and we go again on Friday night. But we'll look at a trotter that's a remarkable horse at the end of this. But what is ahead for Addington Raceway? I know there's rugby again this week, and then we've got a couple of back-to-back Thursdays.
Yeah, so we've got rugby this week. We've got the Crusaders versus the Reds, plus the Christchurch Boys and Christ College's the curtain raiser, which is always a big game. So yeah, look, rugby, racing and beer, if you like. Again, hopefully the weather plays its part a wee bit more. We didn't run the smoker last week just because of the weather, so we're hopeful that can happen this week, but it's weather dependent with that being outside. There was quite a few spectators after the races, which was great to see. A few had come back from the rugby, and there was still quite a crowd in there when I left. So that was great to see. Turnover was so-so, as they have been just lately, without the volume of feature racing that we normally would have during this period. It's been down quite a bit, but we'll see how all that plays out as things settle in. I think there's a review being undertaken by Harness Race New Zealand as we speak. But yeah, no, look, we're looking forward to another good night. I'd have to say we're disappointed with the fields this week. There's quite a bit of money up for grabs. To have 7 maiden horses wanting to go around for $12,000 pretty much is appalling, I think. Yes, it can be difficult to win at Addington, but if it wasn't for Ken Barron, we wouldn't be running that race. He's got 3 horses in there. And there's a number of other races. The races that we split on regular occasions, the 35 and faster races. To be honest, it's up to the trainers and the owners to put the horses in. If the 35 to 36 horses that were there on Tuesday a couple of weeks ago, all nominated for that race, the very same horses would be racing for $12,000. It's as simple as that. We can't do anything if they're not nominated.
No,
I
totally understand that. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. I know it's not an anti-Addington scenario, but people have this perception it's harder to win, and in some cases it probably is. But like you say, if those 35 to say 37, 38 all nominate, then you'll put a race together for them, and they'll race for $12,000. They don't have to race the 45s and higher. It's all about the numbers, and you guys will put it on.
100%. Look, there's only one 35 horse there, and he's transferred from the standing start race. That's the mare Charlie's Ace. Yep. So, again, it's up to people to do this. We were trying to run 4 races out of that. We've got 3, but they're very light, and it's not sustainable if we keep doing this. So something we'll have to give eventually. If people don't want to run for higher stakes, then the message they're giving us is to drop the stake, which is the last thing we want to do.
Yeah. Right.
So look, let's just see how that plays out. We race again next week, the next 2 Thursdays in a row, and then we begin the weekend after Queen's birthday with Sunday racing pretty much every week until about the 2nd week of August. So there's some opportunities there as well. So we'll be careful with the programs there. Obviously, we do not want 7 and 8 races on Friday night and 10 on Sunday. Yeah. So there could be opportunity for us to transfer some horses or pick up a race that's in the Sunday program and move it to the Friday if we need to, because that's where we're earning money. But look, let's just see how things play out. The racing certainly hasn't lacked quality. Really exciting racing, very competitive racing, and I look through these fields, even though we're disappointed numbers-wise, we're certainly not disappointed quality-wise. There's a lot of talent and a lot of upcoming talent, apart from the 2-year-old race horses like Hail Lucius, who was very impressive first up and will be winning races, pretty much in a row. And I was thinking about that as I was driving to work this morning. About this time of the year, there's a horse that emerges that just goes ping, ping, ping. And it seems to happen. They're in the right place at the right time, and they just win them in a row. So trying to find that could be a bit of a challenge for someone.
Yep, certainly. We're going to go through each and every race, but if you don't want to watch all of the preview, invitation only, really give it a great chance in race one. I liked Royal Dell last week. Race just didn't pan out. He can bounce back in race number 2. That's a very winnable race for a horse with plenty of talent. Looking forward to seeing a horse called Howling Wolf, who's trolled up nicely in race number 3. So there's 3 to get the program underway. Just before we kick into the preview, though, Darren, ladies' night's not too far away.
No, it's not. So tickets will go on sale online, addington.co.nz on the 1st of June, and they will sell out, as we've said. So they do go on sale on the 1st of June. It's very popular. So follow that. You can have a look on the site now and just see what it's all about. But the 1st of June, they will go on sale, and they're only on sale online. So a lot happening around there. It's a great night out, and there's always a good crowd, a good buzz around the place, and that diamond ring up for grabs on the night as well from so amongst a number of other prizes. So really looking forward to that one.
All right, let's get into the preview.
Okay, race 1. We get underway at 5:47, slightly later with just the 9 races and the rugby not starting till just after 7:30. So IRT, your horse out, Passion Mobile Pace, 2,600 metres.
Yeah, last start effort by invitation only was excellent. That was in behind Sandwave. Wouldn't need to lift much off that, Darren, to be taking this out. I know it's got barrier 9, but the 2,600 metres will negate that somewhat. And I think he's a 3-year-old that may even be punching around in the Derby at the end of the year. He's that sort of quality. Not saying he can win a Derby, but he's a pretty smart sort of animal. So I think he'll take out the first. There's a few other chances, though. First Class is first up, and this horse at 2 and 3 was always touted as being, in the top 3 or 4 of the All-Stars runners. Trolled up nicely, actually won its trial a couple of starts back against Sweet Bell. Comes up with barrier 6, so it's a definite chance. Casino Action had a wide draw last week, did some work and fought on okay, so I think it's some sort of hope, as is Serious Moonlight, who gets off the machine quickly and has a nice barrier. So I'll go 9, 6, 1 and 2, but one of the bets of the week is invitation only.
Race 2 is the first leg of the early quaddy. Spectators Bar handicap trot, 2,600 metres, 6:12.
Yeah, sticking with the 9s, Royal Dell comes off the 10 metres this week, and look, like I said, he just didn't get every favour last time, and he was running on okay, and I thought his previous run had a winner in his next couple of starts written over it. So I'm happy to go with him again, the 9. To beat Jakarta, this one with Amber Letherby, she does the driving as well. It was 4th at Rangiora behind Beyond the Horizon. Tends to race well at Addington, although he hasn't won here. He's gone some good races, so I'm happy to have him on the ticket, Quinella-wise. Madeline Stowe missed Sunday's run, but had a couple of runs last week, and one of them was a winning one at Addington, which was miles overdue. And then she was a really good 3rd behind Under and Over. So again, she's in great form, and why wouldn't she continue with that sort of form line the way she's going? You've got to have her in your trifectas, and can't do it alone for Michael Howard and Stephen McNally. They often lob up in races like this. Last start 3rd, Rangiora had plenty of merit in it, so it's a chance too. 9, 10, 4 and 6 in a second.
Race 3 is the Garrard's Mobile Pace, the maiden race, 1,980 metres at 6:42.
Yeah, go to HRNZ and have a look at the trial performances of Howling Wolf. He's a 3-year-old by Bettor's Delight. He's trained by Robert and Jenna Dunn, and I just love the way that he's found the line, particularly in his last trial. So he's not going to need to lift much off that to go very close to winning this. It's a good maiden field, though, Darren. This is the one where over the next 3 or 4 weeks you're going to go, well, there was a winner, there's another winner. Shell Shock was good first up. It's another by Bettor's Delight. Ken Barron, as you mentioned, with a decent hand in this. Chris Lynn's in it, as is Dancing Desire. Man United is a horse that's clearly capable of winning a race. And then you've got the likes of Bubba Scrub, who's in the same category. I marked them 5, 4, 2 and 6, but write it down. This is your race. This is where you find your form for horses that are either going to win either 1 or 2 races in the next month, I would say.
Race 4 is the Brecon Farms 2-year-old Mobile Pace. Big sponsors at Addington Raceway. Of course, the winning owners Bar Brecon Farms. Ken and Karen looking after that for us. 1,980 gets underway at 7:10, and some real talent here. I've been very taken with Style Greg getting home well this first couple of runs. Hitting the line really well and gets a better draw this time.
Yeah, group race form 2, last start 5th, in behind Don't Stop Dreaming in the Welcome Stakes, and Vinca B's come out of the Wyndham Kindergarten Stakes and the Welcome Stakes. So they're 2 great form lines for this. The All-Stars, or the Rolleston base of Mark Purdon and Hayden Cullen, have a strong hand. They also have Wish Me Luck and Daredevil. So they'll be looking to go to the $50,000 Sapling Stakes, which is back in its old place, of course, at Queen's Birthday at Ashburton. So they'll both, Wish Me Luck and Daredevil, probably improve off the run. The other 2 have got exposed race day form. So they're the ones to beat. The other one that's trialled nicely is Caldwell Bay from the Regan Todd barn. We know how potent his team is. So from barrier 1, it could end up getting a beautiful run. So I actually marked them 2, 1, 7, and 6. Sometimes when you do that with a horse like Vinca B, he comes out, wins by 5 lengths, and you go, what'd you do that for? But I just think the way the barrier draws have fallen, I'm happy to have the 1 and 2 over the 1 on this occasion, ahead of Vinca B.
This is a race, Greg, that we did have a condition in the program to drop the stake if we got less than 8 starters. We've decided to keep this race at 12,000. It feels
Right.
like the people that you'll be penalising for not getting a full field are the very ones that are actually nominated.
That are there.
At the end of the day, we've decided to honour that and keep it at $12,000. So
Nice work.
good luck to the connections there. Race number 5 is the Rico Handicap Trot, 2,600 at 7:38. And gee, these races are competitive.
Yeah, they are. And these horses off 15 metres, they'll be chasing hard. I think the winner will come out of the back markers with Ice, Willangus Lad and Miss Crazed. But, gee, they'll have to run a bit of time here, because off the front, in form, Bright Glow, Martha Stewart, Clyde. We know Sue Princess can run when she decides to, and Dubois is just not doing what he did in his last campaign. He actually trotted all the way last time, but he pulled too hard. So those 5 off the front, they get to the lead, and you get Bright Glow running along like she did last time, and she'll take all sorts of catching. I do think the 15-metre horses are the best in the race, though, so I'm happy to go 7, 8, 6, and then Bright Glow, because why wouldn't Kyle Cameron have another crack at running them along like he did last time?
Oh, she's a great wee horse, isn't she? Race number 6 is the Paul Renwick Joinery Mobile Pace, talking about great sponsors. Gee, we've got some good sponsors on board right across the program, as we normally do. Mobile Pace, 2,600 at 8:09, and this is the first leg of the Lake Quaddy.
Yeah, and confirmation from Paul late last week that he will sponsor the Renwick Farms Dominion for the next 2 years. So you're right, he's got behind the place for such a long time. He's the original sign on the fence there around by the 500-metre mark. Yeah, he's just a great supporter. It's great to have his name associated with this race. Dance Time only needs to reproduce what he did last time. Led and was simply too good for Shan Noble. I can see no reason why he won't go forward and try and adopt those tactics again. I know it was the 1980 last time, but he's going to be in front, and he's going to take all sorts of catching. He's definitely a better short course horse, but if he's in front and cops not a lot of pressure, he might get away with it this week. Mikey Maguire was much better. He was really good last week. He nearly grabbed a top 3 spot. He finished 4th. That was in the Franco Marek race. He's getting back to something like his best. And again, he's better suited to the 2,600 metres. So you might get a nice each way price around him. Warlock charged home behind Got You Covered last week. And Heisenberg is not far off getting back to something like his better form. It's a good race. I've left out O'Need Mickey. Smithy's Terrace first up. But I do think if Dance Time finds the front and doesn't cop too much pressure, he'll be hard again.
Race 7 is the Dunstan Horse Feeds Mobile Trot 1980, and really pleased with this field that we've put together for intermediate to fast class trot.
Race of the night. No doubt about that at all. What about the form lines here around Andy Hall and Smoke and Bandar? Loving the Port, won by 11 lengths last week, albeit down in grade, but is easily up to this grade. I Dream of Genie's in awesome form. This should be a cracking contest. I ended up settling on Smoke and Bandar. He got close to Mataderos, and he really pushed Mataderos last week. His form this time in has been excellent. Loves Addington Raceway. He's won 4 of his total 8 wins in his career at this joint. So he's won on the second row, Darren, which I think is a good draw, because he can basically decide what he wants to do at the start. KRS is probably likely to get off relatively quickly, and then he can pick and choose who he follows after that. So I put it ahead of Andy Hall, who was great beating Spider Moment last week. Spider Moment's in this race, didn't even mention him before. What about his fresh up run? And he's come up with a beautiful draw, and I reckon he'll charge early too. So he'll be in the van for a long way. And then you got Love in the Port, who bolted in last week. Great race, this one. 10, 9, 5 and 6, but looking forward to just watching it.
Absolutely. Race number 8, Virginia Drivers Mobile Pace 1980. And this is a race with conditions for 1-win horses only, which we're constantly told people are chasing. It's a junior drivers race, which we're constantly told people want to support. It's for $12,000 and we've got 7 horses. So if there's only 7 1-win horses wanting a $12,000 free race in winter, I'm not sure what the future holds for some of these going forward.
I'm not sure what they're waiting for, Darren.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they're waiting for.
No, I don't. I'm not sure either. Good luck to the connections that have supported the race and the junior drivers that have got an opportunity to compete in it.
Yep, good race. Really even go. Legenda Franco, the one, the money's been put in and they haven't been taken out in its last couple. Comes up with barrier 1. Probably not going to get a better opportunity for Gemma Thornley and Stephen McRae. So I think she picks herself, but she's no good thing. Sergeant Best racing really well, had the aid of barrier 1 in his last 2. Max Hill takes the drive again. I think it's a top 4 chance, but I'm not so convinced it'll just line up and win. Rockin' Kiwi's got a good chance. Better with Bling, Big Mama Morris. They're all hopes in this, but I think Legenda Franco has the advantage given that she's got barrier 1.
Last race is the First Direct Taxis Mobile Pace 2600 at 9:36, reminding you that spectators still open after the last race if you want to pop in. There'll be a few from the rugby there. And gee, there's some talent in this race, particularly towards the back end of the field. And of course, Geordie swapping stables to the Dunn team and found form straight away. Exceptionally well bred by Better's Delight out of Flyover. Yeah,
no question about his breeding at all. Inside back row draw. Don't know how that's going to pan out. Although, again, the 2600 metres should negate that somewhat and has no horse outside him. So, there'll be choices there to be made. Chambray was awesome last time. I know it got a good run back on the fence, but Johnny Cox got her out at the right time and just dead set bolted in. Won in a good time. Look, she's a filly that's always had talent, and I reckon she could show it again on Friday night. So she's hardest to beat. Hale Lucius, who you mentioned before, couldn't have been more impressive fresh up for Regan Todd. Found the front and just bolted in. If Shell Shock wins earlier in the night, then that form's well and truly franked, and Hale Lucius is going to be very hard to beat in the last. Arizona Wildcat was in behind Woodley Beaver. Nothing wrong with that performance last time. And the Coleman, not sure what to make of him. He was brilliant first up. He went really good second up, and he sat in the 1-1 and dropped out last week. So Mark Jones wouldn't be lining him up if he didn't think he could bounce off that. So I'm prepared to forgive him the 1 run. Cab Callaway's got a good barrier draw of 2, likely to press forward and put itself in the fight. It's a good race, the last, but I reckon the horse that's likely to go the furthest in the future is Chambray. So I'm happy to go with her on top, Darren.
Yeah, look, we're playing a supporting role, if you like, this week to the Auckland meeting, and as we say, we wish them luck. Our fields are small, but there's definitely some quality, and even though they're small, they're very, very tricky to pick. So some fixed odds options could be the way to go. Some multis that are not quite as short as they perhaps normally would be. So yeah, look, we're still looking forward to a really good night. The weather looks like it's going to play its part, albeit a little bit cool. We want to leave you with a video from last week. A great mare, not always on her best behaviour before she gets on the track, and proves a bit of a challenge for a very, very good trainer in Ian Cameron. And we talk of Bright Glow. She's an 8-year-old mare now, 153 starts, and she's won 133,000. Ian reminds us of what a good horseman he was. Of course, growing up in my era, the likes of Ian Cameron with a posse of horses from middle class to open class, the Deluxe and Montrose and Game Command and Saucy Star, and you can just go on and on and on with how many horses in that grade he had and how competitive they were. Jocelyn and Ian done a tremendous job with this mare, because she is a bit of a challenge, as I found out myself in the stable block. She does have a bit of an attitude, but certainly very, very competitive, and Kyle in the bike doing a really good job on the track as a trainer and driver himself. So we want to leave you with her. She's good fun to watch, Greg, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. But you're right. Don't walk behind her in the stables. That's a very good lesson that you learn pretty quickly with her. But in front, rolling, Kyle took this race by the scruff of the neck, and it's just a pleasure to watch her.
She's one of those horses, Greg, that just when she starts to slip out of form and you think she might have had enough, she just pops up again, and she seems to love racing. She seems to enjoy it being here, and I know that they love bringing it to Addington, and we love to have her here. So we're going to leave you with Bright Glow, if you like, a bit of an underdog, winning last week at Addington, and we'll look forward to seeing you on course this Friday.
Well, straight in first from Take After Me. Euro Cash is just whacking away for now. Then Boys Invasion. Bright Glow 2 clear. Take After Me. Boys Invasion taking ground off the leader, but she's lifting at the 100. Bright Glow. Boys Invasion. Clyde running on. Then came Illegal Alien. 50 shot of the post. Bright Glow will take them all of the way. Bright Glow won it by 2.5 on Clyde and Take After Me. Then Boys Invasion. Illegal Alien. Royal Del Euro Cash, Bellissima, and Franco Yorick. He's going to have to do a bit of work to get his standing starts right.